Bruh, I don't know what that was. I got so confused I stopped watching it. I don't know what that was. I just know the two people I want to check. I wanted Drew to win. I wanted Braun to win finally. It's been a good year for him already. He got Intercontinental title. Now he's world champion after losing the Intercontinental title to like 3 people.
This chaos is helping the cult of the Seven Devils recruit new followers.
I'll mention your
You've been
help when I
keeping
report
those
to the
numbers in
Guardians
check.
on Oa.
Destroying the boom tubes they're using for transport will reduce their tactical resources. Mission accomplished.
Thrasher's really turned his life around since leaving the cult of the Seven Devils. He's become a...
boss is helping the cult of the Seven Devils recruit new followers. But you've been keeping those numbers in check.
The metal is preventing them from flying away.
Mission accomplished. We'll hold off a while longer on deciding Earth's fate.
Solarto is new to the Green Lantern Corps. Thanks for giving him a hand.
What's it called? What's it called? Sparring targets. They gotta level up those sparring targets to the range of the fights that we're fighting right now, 305 or 300 and something, because it will show you the output of damage on how much you're actually doing towards a character who has 305 CR. And we're only attacking something, and we think a loadout is gonna work when it actually is broken.
It's about time Hawkgirl showed as much interest in defending Thanagar as she does that mudball you call her.
Yo, like I said, bro,
I'm in
if
charge
these
of the
guys
space
ever
center,
heard my
and
mouth,
frankly,
it would never
it's a
be the
mess.
day that these guys would
These
be able
metal
to
shell
live
lanterns.
properly.
The best way to atone for my actions in the
when I
cult
mean
is to
live
work with
properly, it would
people
be
like
like,
you
yo,
in the fight against
listen,
them.
when
It's
I'm
good
like,
you're
when I'm
back.
talking, just take it in.
Helping Thanagar helps
There is
Earth.
so much people who are working around these areas. Grabbing their board's attention is going to be the hardest thing. To have all of their boards in one room is the most hardest thing. And the one thing about it is you literally have to like talk to them individual. You have to talk to them individual, you gotta do so much things. You think it's easy, it's not easy. But if these guys actually put it into work, man, I don't even want to tell you, man. There's so much business situations that so much people are lacking in the sense of like certain communication situations. Like, it's so funny. It's completely funny. Like, they're all isolated. All companies are pretty much isolated. I had a theory of someone I overheard, a bird just overheard. I heard a theory. Yo, you should put single target hits. They do more damage than AoEs. Make your whole thing single targets. It does more damage than the AoEs. And then when I thought about it, I'm like, okay, so then if you have to do the difference between an AoE loadout compared to a single target loadout, the only reason why you would make an AoE loadout is because there's more enemies to attack. But if you're hitting single targets, you're going to see a burst damage where you're going to see more than another person who has AoE damage on with their loadout. You see what the dynamics is about DPSing? It depends on how much enemies you're hitting at once. And I don't want to scare anybody, because if you're scared about it, man, you're not gonna really know. You're not really taking yourself to your full potential. Then that's just basically what it is. I don't want to make you insane or anything. Like right now, if I said it right now, kids who are not going to school right now that are graduating this year in high school, they're not going to see a prom. They're not going to see their graduation. They're not going to be. So what's going to happen to them? What's going to happen to those kids? You see, they don't have a story for that. It doesn't really matter right now because their health matters more than everything else, right? So at the end of the day, those kids will not have a graduation this year. They're not going to graduate this year. What does that mean? Do they have to come back to school?
I need to run the duo feeds.
I'm not talking about no duo feeds. I'm not going into no duo feeds. Not right now. Not right now. Definitely not right now. And like for the kids who are graduating this year, how are they gonna graduate? Are they graduating, or are they going to? What's going to happen? Is there going to be a situation where they get a diploma? What happens? Are they gonna come back for an extra year? Do they have to come back another extra year? You know what I mean? Like, for kids who are failing tremendously, they're happy because they might have another year to redeem themselves. But for someone who is really getting good marks, they're thinking about these things. See the difference? You can benefit one side and the other. It's just it's called by update. updating. It's updates. Some benefit others, some doesn't, and then sometimes they will benefit others, and then they will benefit you, and then they'll benefit others. That's just how updates work. That's how updates work. And the thing about it is that you just have to go through its motion. And
my
it
sister
sucks.
is graduating this year, so I get that.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, what happened to preschoolers? Do they go to grade 1, or do they stay the same age level that they were staying at? And does that mean classes are going to be overwhelmed? My children's getting older, and are they going to be going to things? Is kindergarten kids going to be in kindergarten? It's going to be confusion. It's going to be confusion. Now the school board even has much more of a situation to deal with more than they were thinking about last year, because we're talking about this, where I was, kids are getting populated in the school, meaning because realistically, when I was a counselor, you are allowed to have 15 kids or 12 kids as one person in a room. You are allowed to, if you have 2, you can have 24. You have 3, you have 36. No, 36. You get 4, you get 48. You know what I mean? And then so forth, and then 60 with another. That's just basically how you do, because you are supposed to be able to attend to 12 or 15 kids as one adult in the room. Like I said, man, I've been through so much industries, man. I seen the nonsense in it. I seen the complete greatness in it. I seen the innovation in it. I seen the power in it. I seen the value in it. And I just seen a lot of nonsense in it. And then I seen how it's confusing. I see how things are confusing. I seen the people who are teachers and leaders in it. I seen a lot of stuff. And then people who were not teachers, that were just workers. They were just literally workers. They came to work and just work only. Like, you had nerds that did not want to mess with cool kids or anybody. They didn't want to mess with them because they were like, they knew that their finesse was a bunch of nonsense. All their finesse was a bunch of nonsense. And they could claim to making it sure that it looked like nonsense, but because they were cool, people believed that was just being cool to be cool. You know what I mean? That's just what it was. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's just what it is. And then I seen leaders who actually had the coaching ability of teachers, and they were like, hey, you know what I mean, I can teach you what to do on that if the teacher's not explaining it correctly. I was one of those people. I was one of those individuals. If you didn't understand and you were okay to listen, I can basically teach you quickly. And if you have any questions that I can answer, I'll answer it. And if you felt scared about asking it to a teacher, I can definitely go and ask it for you, because I have a better kind of relationship with the teacher more than you do. And I can understand you might be scared of certain things, and you don't want to talk in a certain way, you don't want to be able to mesh with that person, you just don't want to come with those situations. So you have questions that you want to ask, but ask me and I'll bring it to him. I'll write it down, jot it down, I'll try to figure it out, and I'll put it out there for you so you can get that answer. I was one of those guys. I stayed in school. I graduated.
Teacher have to use iApp now. If kids don't get it and the kid email them what they do if they don't email you back.
Teachers have to send you an app now if kids don't get it and the kid emails. See, look, you see, the thing about that now, I'm gonna make it seem like it's not nearly impossible, but realistically, you know, with dialogue, with proper dialogue and some understanding, things can be fixed, because you want to be able to fix it. But if it gets to a certain stage, it gets to a certain stage, you know what I mean? But you want to be able to, because at the end of the day, it's gonna be dialogue. You have to dialogue it anyways. With anything, it comes with dialogue. I feel that, you know, if you have a student that's in your class that you know about, you kind of let that person pass on the word to the teacher that that person has a new email. This is when you know you're distancing yourself. If you're someone who never talked to anybody and that teacher was like, yo, this student's so hard to contact, or because he doesn't talk to anybody in the classroom, he's so lone body, then there's an issue. There could be an issue. But if the teacher knows you talk to the majority of the people in the classroom, and you might be able to contact, or the teacher passes on the word like, oh, if anybody knows about this student, would they be able to contact that student and let them know that I sent them? The teacher's supposed to send something like that. 2, if you don't outreach, the teacher's supposed to outreach for you, because then it's going to show that they tried. But depending on how many times they tried. Because like an email can last into your inbox for a matter of 6 to 5 days, and then gets deleted. You could have lost your
Same.
phone. I have my phones plenty of times been robbed at gunpoint, and lost my phone, broke my phone, had situations happen with my phone at certain situations where people even said the same thing where they owe certain, but they didn't get back to me. You know what I mean? They just didn't get back to me, even though they know that it's easy as 1, 2 click, but you know what I mean? That's just what it is. But it's just the way it is. You know what I mean? To protect themselves, to do whatever they gotta do, it's one of those situations. It's just a dialogue. At the end of the day, it's a dialogue that's happening that you need to do. Because people do switch your emails, like, frequently, pretty frequently, especially if they're not using it.
Destroying their nth metal stores will slow down the cult's latest attempt
I'll
to
mention your
resurrect
help when I
Omar's
report to the
sin.
Guardians on Oa. Thank you.
The invaders are trying to subvert our troops into their own cannon fodder.
But at the end of the day, people's
Captain
business are
Cosnet
people's
serves
business. That's why
Thanagar
it's private.
first.
It's like,
But if we get
you
his help,
in your own,
we
it's
can
like
save
you in your
Earth,
own,
too.
you in your own home, or you in your own situation.